Hi everyone. So for project 2 of the creative engineering class, I decided to make LED glasses inspired by Adafruit NeoPixel ring LEDs, which are RGB, so it's pretty cool. And with these glasses, I can make it, animate some pretty fun things, but also let it light up according to some sensors. In this case, I used a photoresistor. The idea was to make it light up when it's dark so that I can do things like reading in the night or see where I'm going. And for a microcontroller to control these LED lights, I needed something small and light. So I chose the LilyPad Arduino, which is also an Arduino board. It uses the same code and everything, but it's just lighter, it's smaller. It has less capabilities, but it's good for my function, and it also supports rechargeable batteries, which is perfect for wearable devices. After a very, very painful days, weeks of waiting, I finally got these ring LEDs, so I could start assembling this thing. The difficult part ended up just being finding good parts for the glasses, for the structure of it. I ended up just opting for these wooden chopsticks that I got when I was eating outside. And to attach them to the glass, I ended up just using zip ties. I couldn't really hot glue them because they needed to be flexible, so it can actually fit on my head and adjust to different head sizes. I basically stripped a plastic sunglass to use as the nose piece. And in here you can see the photoresistor. It was actually a pretty nice fit. Alright, we're just gonna ignore that. It's actually a pretty nice fit. It has the wires running through the ring part of the LEDs, and yeah, it's pretty cool. And here you have the LilyPad. It's very small and light. I'm thinking about pinning it onto my shirt instead of putting it on the glasses, because Thomas mentioned that putting on the glasses could cause a weight imbalance, and I think that was some good feedback. Hopefully I can get a 3D printer sometime in the future and actually make this more finalized and into a product. I'm also working on putting a ultrasonic sensor onto these glasses. The main problem with this is that it's really big, and I couldn't really fit it anywhere. But it's mostly a time problem. I'm pretty late. I'm like 5 days, 6 or 7 actually, behind schedule. So can't do this yet. Gotta catch up first. So I've made 3 modes for my glasses. One is the Rainbow Psycho mode. Another is Morse Code mode, where I can type in a Morse code and the glasses can flash it for me. It's mainly used to insult people and have them not notice it. This function was inspired by my sister, who likes to insult me in various ways. She's a linguistic major. Anyways, I also realized that these glasses are very good glasses to prevent eye contact because it's stupidly bright. I underestimated the brightness of these glasses, and they are really bright. It hurts your eyes just looking at it. But it doesn't really hurt the wearer. So here's the code explanation for my glasses. At the very start, you see this library. This library is for the ring LEDs. And pin 2 and 3 are the digital pins I'm using for the 2 LEDs, and each LED has 24 pixels, LED RGB lights. This 2-dimensional string array is used as a sort of dictionary to convert the characters, the alphabet, only the lowercase alphabet, to Morse code. You can see me defining it here. And these are for defining the pixels. You see these variables being used. I use the serial port to input the untranslated code. And right P and left P are the NeoPixel lights that I'm using, that I called. Okay, so this is a loop code. This is where I basically do this stuff for the Arduino. So what this does is that it detects if the monitor is open. If it's open, it reads. It sees if it can read the string. So that's where I type in like the code that I want to translate. And what this code basically does is that it checks if it sees a space. If it's a space, then it'll do a 5,000 delay. Because in Morse code, if you want to show the difference between two letters, you gotta wait for a little longer. And this is to detect if there's a new sentence. For that, it'll wait for 10 seconds. And what this code does is that it detects whether what you typed, it'll first, what you're gonna type is an alphabet, right? And then it's gonna first match that with the dictionary. The dictionary is then gonna pull out the Morse code version of that. And then the code's going to detect whether it has a dot or a dash. And according to that, it will run these functions, which control the lights to blink. So in order to switch between, glass modes, I ended up just commenting out the different modes that I want to use. This is not the most optimal way to do this, but I am on a time crunch. So perhaps in the future I'll use the sort of button or a variable resistor to do this. Anyways, this is work mode. So work mode is it reads the sensor from an analog pin, in this case A5, and it divides it by 7, subtracts it by 10. What this does is that normally the light level the resistor reads are 7 times more than like 100. So I don't want that going over 100 because I need to use it to control the brightness, which has a max at 100. So I divide it by 7, and 10 is also something like that. So this part of the code is that means like if the light input is greater than 50. So if there's a lot of light, then there's not a lot of meaning in having bright or even your ring lights on. So I made that turn off. But however, if it's larger than 50, if it's smaller than 50, which means that it's dark, it will adjust the light level according to the light input. Yeah. So here's the second mode. The second mode is the rainbow mode. What it basically does is that I set a different rainbow color to each LED, and all of them have the variable I, and I increments through all of the pixels. So each of them are going to be increasing by 1. And to prevent it going over 24, which is the number of pixels of a ring, I do modulo num pixels, which basically limits the number to 24, actually to 23, and then goes back to 0. This is the function for a dot for the Morse code mode, and this is the function for a dash. And that's it. It really isn't too hard. Here's a demonstration. Oh, fine. Geez, that was hella boring. Okay, so what I do first is that I open the serial monitor. Okay. And then the serial monitor is used to input sentences into the circuit. In this case, I'm going to use SOS. As you can see, the serial monitor is printing out the dots and dashes, and the glasses is also doing the same thing. And it's going to keep repeating itself until I type something new. Okay, I'm gonna type something like, I like ice cream, I guess. And see how it does with that. So it has to first finish the code it was on to move on to the next one. Okay, so now it's printing. And yeah, that's it. The code will take quite a long time to print. As you can see, it's only just starting the third letter. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making this project. I'm sorry about this being a week late. Shipping was just really slow. But make sure to comment to this post if you have any feedback or suggestions. I would love to see them. Thank you.